Because I was... Okay, I think we're live?
I'm checking my subscription feed, waiting for it to...
I think we're live. I'm not 100%.
It still has me as waiting for the event to start.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm in the waiting room.
Says live for me on YouTube.
I'm on my phone. There it goes. Maybe.
Watch live now. Says live for me on YouTube.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
well
working now.
we both sound good. So, okay, welcome back everyone. All one of you that are here, which is me.
And I'm there, but it's not registering, I don't think.
Yeah. But welcome back especially to you VOD watchers, because I feel like more people watch this as VODs than they do live. Understandably so.
It's a lot.
Welcome back. It's been a few weeks. We've just had things cropping up, getting in the way. But we're finally back with some more Umineko.
It's true.
Right smack dab in the middle of part 3. Episode 3, I should say.
Yeah.
And we're starting off strong.
Yes, which is great because I just finished eating a greasy pizza, so my throat is very
Yep.
Kinzo.
Ready to go?
Yeah. Let's see if I remember all the voices. Fingers crossed, only 2 people live voice comes up for the next 2 hours or whatever. That's not gonna happen. Okay.
No, it's not.
Well then. How will this game be resolved?
Back on this again, are we?
Yeah. You may submit, or you may resist.
We've heard it a million times before, Kenzo.
Either way, it will truly be an entertaining banquet, worth betting my short remaining life on.
In his dimly lit study, occasionally brightened by lightning, Kenzo kept mumbling and laughing to himself. On the antique clock with the intricate design that had been sitting on his desk, the 2 overlapping hands tilted to the right and began to slide.
Ooh.
The measure of time that counted up to 24 had returned to 0 and had begun to count back again. The music?
This is the first theme. Measuring time is a brutal thing. It drags itself all the way to 24 over the course of a day, and then returns back to 0. It certainly did count to 23:59.
Yeah?
However, is it ever able to reach 24? I straight up was going to be like, does it ever hit that? I'm him. If you conclude that it returns to 0 again without reaching 24, how futile it must all be.
But perhaps a person's life is the same. You live aiming for a perfect 24, and in the instant you reach it, you return to 0. People will probably praise the departed, saying that he did reach 24, but he most certainly did not. In the end, he's a 0.
I am different. I will live and reach 24.
This guy really thinks he's him.
That itself is the Golden Land. For that is where Beatrice dwells.
Kenzo had been fumbling around with some tarot cards for some time. It looked as though he was trying to divine his own luck with a contest, doing it over every time he didn't like the result. The most forbidden action in tarot reading is trying to predict the same thing twice. To do so ridicules the results of fortune-telling, and also desecrates those beings higher than humans that give revelations through the tarot cards. However, Kinzo knew tarot cards shouldn't be used twice because, since they're nothing more than a random number generator, reading them twice will naturally cause a different result to appear. Therefore, reading them twice was only forbidden to preserve the mystique of the tarot card's results. However, that didn't mean that Kinzo didn't take the tarot card reading seriously. Kinzo's interpretation of tarot reading was done in a completely different way. That was to repeat the reading over and over, without giving up in the slightest, until he reached the result most favorable to him. The mark he set for this most favorable result would vary, but when he demanded the most favorable result in a strictly literal sense, it was the same as a simple roulette of luck, where he sought an arithmetic miracle. However, Kinzo used miracles of numbers as the basis of his magical power, so this functioned perfectly well as a magical ritual. In other words, until the result he desired appeared perfectly, he would strive to repeat the tarot readings over and over with conviction, turning the feelings of his heart into prayers, so that when they reached the heavens, they would be sublimated into results. This was Kinzo's personal magical interpretation. Therefore, even though Kinzo's tarot cards were no different from those generally used, the way in which they were used was completely different.
Tonight will not go as I thought.
Kinzo stopped his hands for a second. He seemed not to be getting the results he wanted. On the contrary, bad cards that shouldn't show up so often appeared repeatedly, and continued to interfere with the miracle Kinzo wished for.
Is that how it is?
Yes. Kinzo seemed to have received some revelation that was different from normal. But judging by the unlucky cards scattered across his desk, it was difficult to imagine that the omen had been a good one. For a while, Kinzo closed his eyes tightly, pondering something. Then, as the thunder roared, he made up his mind about something, took the telephone receiver, and dialed.
It is I. Is Genji there? An urgent matter has come up. Wow. Whoa.
Dang, what's Shannon doing outside?
Let's find out.
Have fun, by the way.
Yeah. Now the pizza's working against me.
You shouldn't have spoken into existence. The game is going out of its way to
I
harm
know.
you.
It's gonna...
Oh, you think you'll have an easy time doing Kinzo? Well then, let me throw the exact opposite voice at
ping
you.
pong. Let's...
In front of the entrance hall, Shannon's once burning face had been cooled off by the frigid air. Is this the first time we've seen Shannon in episode 3 so far?
No,
Or am I
she's been
crazy?
around. She
Okay.
just hasn't been doing much.
She had thought that George's proposal... That's right, we had the whole rapid fire of like, here's the
Yeah, it's
proposal,
going
here's the
fast.
adults arguing, here's the cousins together. And Shannon was in that. She thought that George's proposal would surely come sooner or later. It wasn't as though she hadn't prepared herself mentally. And she had answered by nodding. Had she been reckless because of her youth? Should she have thought about her future more seriously? That's you, brother.
Yep.
I wonder if my immediate reply made him think I'm a cheap girl. If I'd at least waited until tomorrow morning, would that at least have shown him I was taking this seriously?
Now that she'd already received the ring from George, Shannon kept fidgeting in embarrassment. I should have done this. I should have done that. As she did, she heard the sound of footsteps splashing through puddles. Shannon immediately chased away the emotions welling up inside her.
Genji-sama? And Kanon-kun too. I'm sorry, I have to go back soon.
She grew stiff, thinking she'd surely be scolded for spending too much time in her secret lovers' meeting with George. Shannon, the master told us to come to the study, saying it was urgent. Let us hurry.
Huh? Yes, certainly. What in the world?
He said he had a premonition of misfortune. How convenient for him, considering he's the one who started this ceremony.
We will enter from the back so that Goda does not notice us. Hide your footsteps.
Yes. Mason, take care. You're so noisy.
Dang. Kanon was especially good at hiding his footsteps, unlike Shannon, the noisy dumbass. No.
Yeah.
Just like a cat.
Neko mitai ni.
He was able to suddenly be there without anyone noticing and leave in the same way. For example, even though he stepped in puddles, the sound he made was far smaller than that of the rain hitting them.
Wow.
Genji also had abilities of that kind. Or rather, those servants called furniture were supposed to be like that. Just like how desks and closets go unnoticed by members of the family. These servants also held it as a great virtue to just suddenly be there when they were needed. Compared to that, Shannon's footsteps still strongly asserted themselves. She was also trying to hide her footsteps, but compared to Kanon and Genji, well, you could say she was a little more boisterous. Eventually, they reached the back door, and the three of them entered the mansion.
I love that noise. Yeah.
Immediately, they thought they felt something. It was different from a sense of smell, and it seemed to hit the depths of their noses.
Ooh.
This hard-to-describe sensation, which you might call a sixth sense, allowed them to perceive that something was different than usual.
Genji-sama.
Indeed. Let us hurry. That sensation made it feel as though a tense something was pressing in around them. Realizing that, the three of them dashed up the stairs, heading for Kenzo's study while still hiding their footsteps. When they dashed up the stairs, that smell of sweet poison particular to Kenzo's study reached their noses.
What is it, Genji-sama?
The barrier is dead.
Huh?
After hearing Kanon's words, she looked at the door to the study. A scorpion pattern was engraved on the doorknob, a powerful ward against magic, the final barrier which protected Kenzo himself. It had been broken.
Whoa.
Of course, there was no change to the doorknob that the eye could see. However, those who could understand things people couldn't perceive were able to recognize that dramatic change had occurred. Master! Master! It is Genji! Please open the door! Genji called in this way after knocking several times, but there was no answer from the study. Shannon, guard our backs. Kanon, search inside the room.
Yes.
Kanon put his ear against the door, searching for a presence inside the study. To protect the backs of the pair watching the door, Shannon faced the other way, ready for the unexpected.
The master must be in here. but it's too quiet.
Do you mean to say he's safe?
No, it's too quiet.
Could it possibly be?
Master, excuse us about the door. Genji pulled a gold key out of his pocket. It was the only key to the study that existed other than the one Kinzo held. He stuck it in the keyhole and turned it heavily. At first glance, that seemed to prove that it was a sturdy lock. However, now that the barrier had been destroyed, this door might as well have been left open from the viewpoint of anyone with magical power. The heavy sound just now meant that the door had now been opened even for humans. Excuse me.
Creaky door again.
As Genji respectfully bowed his head, and Kanon's sense of tension grew tighter, and Shannon trembled, they entered the study. They immediately discovered Kenzo's figure. He was still sitting on the reception sofa so that his back faced them. Genji noticed the person sitting across from him, and again, bowed deeply. Kanon also noticed that person, but he didn't bow his head. He stood in front of Shannon and spread out his arms, blocking the way to her. So without even seeing that person's face, Shannon already had a good idea who it was.
Yeah.
So you have come, Beatrice-sama.
Wow.
I would have never guessed that it was going to be Beatrice.
I know. You'd never know, right? I can't remember. It's been so long. Who did she show herself? She showed herself to. Did she show herself to people on this one?
Not yet.
She didn't.
This is the
She
first
hasn't
time.
shown anybody.
Everything
Okay.
that's happened so far has been, they did all the normal stuff, but then it changed when the adults got to talking about the gold because they actually deduced stuff instead of squabbling this time.
Yeah.
And then Rosa
Okay.
brought up the, I killed her.
Yeah.
And then we had that big flashback. And then after that scene, we went to Kenzo being like, hey, something's wrong.
Yep. Okay.
Genji, is it? You came very quickly. Yes, it is always best when furniture answers to their master's call quickly. Unlike this person.
No, please. That's 4 voices in this room.
So,
Oh.
Ronove-sama has come as well. Genji directed his greeting towards the thin darkness behind and to the right of Beatrice, where there shouldn't have been anything. Even Kanon and Shannon would never have imagined that someone was there. However, the darkness responded immediately and praised Genji's eyesight.
The Thin Darkness goes crazy as a name.
As usual, you don't disappoint. It has been quite some time. Still, you've grown old, haven't you? Have so many years truly passed you by?
My days have been full and satisfying. It appears you have been living quite a full life yourself, Ronove-sama.
Yes, thank you. And Shannon, it has been a long time since I last saw you as well. You have grown quite beautiful. And it seems that you have grown quite strong. That is fortunate. Thank you very much. Nason, who in the world? This will be our first meeting, Kanon-kun. I, Ronove, have been entrusted with the position of Beatrice-sama's head furniture. I am an old friend of Genji-san's, and I am also furniture, just like you. Although the master I serve is different.
The tense color didn't disappear from Kanon's face in the slightest. Depending on the master furniture served, they might be kind or brutal or anything else. If this person claimed to be furniture serving the hated Beatrice, then he must be despicable as well.
It seems I'm thoroughly despised.
Yes.
It's as though you hate everything that has anything to do with me.
Canon does.
Yeah.
Beatrice openly sneered at Canon's hate-filled face. Then, Canon finally realized. Beatrice and Kenzo were having a chess game across the reception table. But Kenzo hadn't even quivered. He was holding his head with both hands, his eyes closed tight as he contemplated his next move. Or was he in anguish?
Master, I have told Kinzo 2 things. There was good news and bad news. The good news is that he'll have the good fortune of being reunited with me before the ceremony ends. The bad news is that Kinzo has been selected as the very first sacrifice in the ceremony.
Huh?
There's absolutely nothing I can do about it.
L.
Because it true. Whoa!
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, because it truly was decided by the fickle roulette.
L plus first sacrifice plus decided by the roulette.
Plus, in the first Twilight. No. Liar. We know you're just a murderer who kills for fun.
I think Kenzo is the most, not... I'm fine. Kill Kenzo.
Yeah, his death rarely contributes to, anything, or his living, even.
Not even that. I think he's just a bad person.
Oh, well, fair enough.
I have qualms with everyone else, even though most of the adults are also bad in their own ways, but Kenzo has, no redeeming qualities.
He's funny. He
whatsoever. He's a kidnapper. He's weird. He's obsessed. He's insane.
Levi, you're just describing me. No, I'm kidding. No. Stop it, Canon-kun. What was that? So, Kinzo, isn't it about time you decided to accept your loss? With this, our long contest is at an end, yes?
At a glance, it was hard to make out the situation on that chaotic chessboard. However, judging by Kenzo's anguish and Beatrice's malicious confidence, it seemed to be over already.
Oh, that's right. It's 5 voices in this room right now. Oh!
It is unavoidable. Perhaps even this could be amusing.
It is to me, too. Resolving my contest with you may bring a flood of emotions, but it has already surpassed love and hate. It was fun. These past few decades certainly weren't boring.
Beatrice advanced her queen and made her final move. And that decided it.
Checkmate. This is my final tribute to you. Without any reservations, sleep. What?
Huh?
Help! Help!
It would be really funny if Kenzo was just narrating this, but I don't think he is, so I'm gonna...
There's no way.
Kenzo suddenly stood up and laughed, like an opera singer facing a full crowd and spreading his arms, as though he had succeeded in a century-long plan. Oh,
What?
dang!
She said sleep and burned him. Oops.
Holy moly. Wow. What a CG.
Bye, Kenzo.
I think it's still narration.
I think so too.
That laugh spat crimson. Crimson flames poured out from inside him, spitting even out of his mouth, ears, and nose, and all at once his body was wrapped in hellfire. But Kenzo kept laughing. The more he laughed, the more the hellfire spewed from his entire body and began to char him.
Terrifying if he is saying this while this is happening.
Those flames became a brilliant light which dazzlingly shone on the various magic tools throughout the room, making their distorted shadows dance across the walls. Those shadows looked like the dead in hell watching over Kenzo in ecstasy as he burned. And, for one who had made a contract with the witch, it was an extremely fitting end. In accordance with those terms, after laughing and howling in the roaring flames for some time, Kenzo flopped to the ground as though he was a puppet whose strings had been cut.
That's the second time they've described somebody like that in this.
Those incredible blazing flames had disappeared as though he'd been completely burned up. And afterwards, nothing remained but a festering and burnt corpse that one could hardly bear to look at.
Can you imagine the smell?
I can.
Oh.
I guess Kenzo's just our narrator now.
Yeah, I was waiting for it to persist for like all the speech bubbles for the rest of the episode. Anyway. Horrible.
You should talk, as if you didn't think that was a fitting way for him to die. Why have you shown yourself? Do you have some business with us?
What if she just said no? What would you do, Canon, if she was like, no, bye, and just left?
Flip his hair out of his eyes.
Stop it, Canon-kun. You mustn't provoke Beatrice-sama.
It would seem that you have them absolutely terrified.
Hey, look on the bright side. Now you're down to 4 voices.
True.
I imagine I'll never get along with Canon. Hey, it's not as though I dislike you particularly.
Beatrice grinned. Canon violently averted his gaze, obviously unhappy. His reaction was so different from what he wanted to do that it made the witch and her butler laugh. Canon, you stand in the presence of Beatrice-sama. Carefully consider your manner of speech.
Oh, I care not, Genji. Let him say what he pleases. I am gracious. How are you gracious? I am always gracious to those who are about to die.
Canon was taken aback by that creepy laughter. Beatrice wasn't here just to take Kinzo's life. The first Twilight required 6 sacrifices. But there are only 5 people. Actually, not even. You can't take Ronove. I don't think. I don't think he counts. Who are the others? There's only 3 other people. There's only 4. You only got 4 right now, Beatrice.
Kill Canon twice.
Kinzo alone wasn't nearly enough. And they just casually walked in here.
Fear not, Canon. It isn't as though you'll be selected as sacrifices just because you came here. After all, you were called here because you'd been selected already.
What?
Their instincts were good enough to spot her meaning instantly. Wow, it's not like she just
Really?
straight up said.
Formed, yeah.
6 sacrifices were required for the first Twilight. After Kinzo, how many more would you need to add up to 6? 1 plus 5 is 6.
Umineko the Explorer. What is happening here?
In this mansion, the number 5 instantly made them think of the number of servants here. Oh, okay, so we're also going to get Godo and
going
Kumasawa,
somewhere.
I see. Is that what you desire?
Goaded Genji again, being like, I'm ready.
Indeed. Thank me, furniture. Tonight, your days of suffering will finally end. You ought to thank me for coming here to tell you this.
Certainly. If that is your desire.
Genji-sama.
Genji had agreed to the witch's heartless announcement with his usual demeanor without raising an eyebrow. Now that the master is dead, Beatrice-sama is our master. Responding to her demand shall be our final duty. Shannon. Canon. You have done well serving until today. That hard work is now over.
As I expected of you, Genji. As your fellow furniture, I'm proud to have known you.
Shannon, do you have any objections?
No.
I heard that George-sama gave you a ring. Do you still say that you have no regrets?
Yes. That blessing was more than furniture deserves. Just receiving the ring has already satisfied my feelings.
And what about you, Canon?
Shannon couldn't take quite as much of a philosophical view as Genji. There probably were regrets left in her heart. She probably wanted to spend a little more warm time with the person she cared for, George. But she released herself from that. She took a single deep breath, and a blank expression rose to her face. Very well.
It does surprise me a tad to find that you've gained such composure, Shannon. It seems you too have taken a philosophical view as furniture.
Won't you at least shed some bitter tears for not being able to spend a night with the man you love? What a boring woman. This feeling cannot be understood by the likes of you, Beatrice-sama. If you desire our lives, please accept them. We will solemnly carry out that duty.
Very well. Excellently put.
Just the type of person Beatrice-sama can't handle.
She's been taking such a far-sighted view of things lately. I must have tormented her too much last time. Speaking of which, didn't I do the same to Battler? Am I still soft? Or is the way I corner them lacking? In any case, she's just no fun. However, it seems you will still entertain me, right? Canon? Canon-kun.
Compared to the two who had taken a far-sighted approach, there was a painful anguish on Canon's face. Canon was still far too young to accept his demise after being told of it by a suddenly appearing witch.
Canon, I hate boredom more than anything. And the fact that the other two have obediently accepted their deaths isn't amusing at all. So I hope you don't betray my expectations.
There it is again. We remember hearing that last episode.
Are you trying to make me your plaything?
Canon realized that he was being provoked. However, no matter how furiously anger spurred him on, his opponent was a witch. He was furniture. He hadn't had a chance of victory from the beginning. But the witch was expecting that he'd struggle in vain and writhe around, and was even looking forward to it. Just thinking about that was frustrating enough to get his blood boiling. Was disappointing the witch by refusing to resist like the other two the only way he could strike back at her?
Oh. Eldest of the 7 sisters of purgatory, Lucifer. Arise.
Which one of us is this?
That's you.
Okay.
I got it pulled up.
I don't remember the voices.
Lucifer of Pride, right here.
Canon. It would be far too cruel to force furniture to fight a witch. No matter how much anger spurs you on, you will have no hope in a battle without a chance of success. Of course, such a battle would be boring for me as well. So, let it be furniture against furniture. Oh no, it's cannibalism. Why not resolve it with a battle between you two?
They're eating him!
Yeah. That should be enough to allow you some hope for victory, right?
Forgive me, Beatrice-sama, but how could I be inferior to this good-for-nothing furniture? As if this cutie would have any chance against me.
Use the laser beam sword cannon.
Fuck her up, Canon!
Yeah. Prove that you can defeat my furniture, the 7 stakes of purgatory. If you manage to win through, let us see. I will let you select the 5 who will escape, becoming one of the 13 sacrifices. I will welcome the 5 you recommend into the Golden Land without any conditions. How about that?
That's a pretty good deal.
Canon understood that he was being provoked. It is a pretty good deal, but would she even follow through with it? That's the question.
Yeah.
However, the witch's offer was very tempting. By this point, Canon couldn't care less about this evil ceremony the witch and the rest were trying to carry out. On the contrary, it was much more important that he remain alive so that he could be invited to the Golden Land and have his wish granted by Beatrice there.
You cried, saying you'd had enough of being furniture, right? I shall grant your desire. I shall give you that human body you wanted so much you cried yourself to sleep. What do you say? That way you and Jessica could be together, yes? Oh, just perfect. You may recommend that Jessica and yourself be invited to the Golden Land. If you alone finding happiness isn't a satisfying solution for you, then you can add in Shannon and George, the one she loves. If you're worried about duty, then you can also add Genji. Oh, that's 5 people. Isn't that enough, Canon? With this much of a reward... You won't let me get bored, will you? She's just playing with you. There's no need to listen to her. I don't like it. Are you okay with this, Nason?
Beatrice couldn't hide her evil smile at those words.
I don't like it. I want to be happy. I've had enough of being furniture. I want to become human and have normal love. I want to know that the ocean is blue, like you.
How young? I'm jealous.
That's why I like the young ones.
Caught in 4K, Beatrice.
Genji, Shannon, stay back.
I like him young.
Yeah.
As young as possible. In fact.
Oh.
Ah.
Edit an image of Beatrice with Drake on like working on an LP.
Canon, Lucifer, forward.
As you command.
Dang, she's so
Good
extra she had to
step.
teleport. Yeah.
That's what.
Teleports 2 feet.
She likes doing that.
I don't like it. That way you look down on me. As if Beatrice-sama would be impossible. But with me, at least you'd have a chance. I really don't like it.
That was probably humiliating for Lucifer.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she was also happy that she was lucky enough to have this adorable prey all to herself.
The sisters, I don't.
They're all little crazy. They're all a little wacky.
Yeah.
Which they are all demons. So
True. All right.
they just like cute boys. They just
I can't.
and killing them.
I'm wondering if it's just that or if they just like poking holes in people at this point. But anyway.
Come, furniture of the witch. Don't think that you can look down on me forever.
You just met her.
Are we gonna get another?
Oh boy. Oh yeah, we are.
Oh.
I feel like
What,
the same
huh?
thing that they played in episode 2.
She's flashing it. She's showing hers off.
She's spamming control. She's crouching on him.
This is so awesome.
Yeah. I wish there was a dang good
He's
anime.
so cool. This music.
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Well, this would look so cool if it froze in time. Anyway. If it were, animated.
So, Battler, isn't this a fun show?
Damn it. Another weird thing's happening. Like I'd ever believe in a magic battle. Nah, it's all fake. They're using
The light
mirrors.
show. Yeah, they're...
Look, don't turn your eyes away. Look at it. Look. It's magic. It's furniture. No matter how much you try to deny me and magic. Look. If you've got all this happening right in front of you, it'd be a waste to miss it, don't you think? Look. Just stop thinking. Magic exists. This is fantasy. Don't close your eyes. Look closely. Look.
Take a shot.
Damn it.
Look.
I won't accept witches. I won't accept magic. But if it's being done right in the open like that, what am I supposed to say? Damn it!
Come now, don't turn away. Look closely, okay? Magic exists. This is fantasy, so stop playing detective. I know your secret. You actually don't really like to think things through, right? Then just stop. Stop!
I see she's switching up her tactics from no longer will I try to prove via facts and logic that magic exists. I will just show it to him. Point blank.
Show him, like, David Copperfield taking the Statue of Liberty and be like, how did he do it?
Yeah.
Huh? How did he do it, Battler? Tell me.
Look, it's gotta be fantasy. Gotta be fantasy.
Oh, boy.
Shut up. Don't talk to me.
Oh, there he
This
goes.
is so cool.
This guy's getting stubborn. Won't you apologize and crawl on the ground right now for being so conceited that you thought you could beat me? If you did, I wouldn't mind forgiving you, okay? Then you wouldn't have your skin ripped off while you're still alive. Or get lashed all over your body as you squirm until you die. You're a cutie, so apologize. If you do, I'll finish you off so gently, while it still feels great.
Be silent, furniture of the witch. I have no intention of speaking with you. I hate to tell you,
So, you're saying you think nothing of me? That disrespectful gaze of yours is really ticking me off.
Minor epilepsy warning.
Canon-kun.
The fact that they're just observing this is really funny to me.
Yeah, they're hanging out.
Isn't he stronger than he was against Satan?
This is why humans are so frightening. In fact, sometimes they even become witches and treat demons as butlers.
Is Ronove roundaboutly saying that Canon is human right here and not furniture?
I suppose so.
Hey, she's saying the line. So, which should I cheer on?
Are you saying this guy's on par with me?
Don't look down on me. As long as you have that pride, you'll never defeat me. Well,
You speak of Lucifer, the eldest of the seven sisters of purgatory, and say that I cannot win. How conceited!
Teleports behind you.
Yeah.
Nothing personnel, kid.
What?
Canon was desperately trying to stay alive, and he had a strong desire to become human. But Lucifer didn't feel anything stronger than a slight desire to play. So that led to an inevitable result. And it was a result that could be reached by the power of humans. The power of the heart.
that's as far as you go. You cannot win against me.
The glowing red curve extended straight out from Canon's arm, pointing at Lucifer's throat just beneath the tip of her chin.
What is this? How could I? There must be some mistake.
As she ground her teeth in irritation, she tried to deny the truth right before her eyes. But no matter how much she believed in her own superiority, it didn't change the facts right in front of her.
Oh. Well done, Canon. Wonderful. You haven't bored me. How pitiful my furniture is compared to that.
Lucifer, you are boring milady. Was this opponent really too much for you to handle?
I'm disappointed, eldest of the seven stakes.
It would have seemed like mere rebuke to an outsider. However, Furniture serving the witch knew what kind of severe treatment was promised by that rebuke, and understood what had been left unsaid.
You good-for-nothing furniture!
Yeah, you tell him.
She howled, Abandoning her last bit of pride, she made her body explode, exposing her true form. That form was a demon stake, which bounced off the walls surrounding the room. How could you shame me so much? Kill, 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 kill! You blockhead! Even though you can't even follow my movements anymore. I won't play around anymore. I'm seriously mad. I'll pierce your heart in one blow. I'll plow right through you, make a fountain of bright red blood reach the ceiling. Die!
Canon-kun.
I love it when they do that every time.
It's so goofy. After flying about wildly for some time with a speed approaching the limits of what a human eye could follow, Lucifer flew at Canon's heart. She could tell that it was Canon's blood by the sweet taste of it. But she quickly noticed one thing. She hadn't pierced his heart.
Oh.
This is why humans are frightening. Would you like some black tea?
I am fine for now. This is so amusing, I don't even need any. Canon-kun.
How many times is she gonna say that?
Every time we cut to her.
Yeah.
You were arrogant again. I told you that you wouldn't be able to defeat me.
The floor was stained with dripping blood. It really was Canon's blood. But it wasn't flowing out of his chest. He's pulling his cup!
Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of.
Canon had sacrificed his own left hand to protect his heart. Oh,
Dang.
okay.
So at that speed, she got caught in his hand. I guess,
Lucifer
hands are pretty-
was arrogant. Even though she'd been given enough time to realize that this was an opponent capable of cornering her, in her pride she had believed him to be worthless. She had gotten careless. So, just as she had announced, she aimed for his chest, trying to pierce his heart. Because she was arrogant, she hadn't even thought of aiming for somewhere other than the place she had announced. No, maybe she had thought about it a little. However, her pride would not allow her to aim for a different spot. After all, she was Lucifer of Pride. Canon, withstanding the pain, grasped the demon stake sticking deep into his left hand strongly with his right hand, and pulled it out. Dang, he's holding her.
Yeah.
When she heard the sound of breaking bones and even more blood dripping down, Shannon looked away reflexively. There was an air hole in the back of the pierced hand so big you could clearly see through to the other side. Air hole. Air hole. Canon's face was filled with pain. Honestly, you probably shouldn't have pulled it out, because that makes you bleed more. And so you have blood loss. But right
It's
now,
okay, he's going to the Golden Land.
he had won without a doubt. True.
That
How could
crying
you-
face was actually really cute.
Yeah, how
What
could
the
you
heck?
make her cry? How could you make her cry, Canon?
First he manhandled her and then made her
Made
cry.
her cry. Not
Can't
gentlemanly
believe it.
at all.
It was a different time, 1987.
The demon stake he was gripping with his right hand turned back into Lucifer again. Did she do it in his hand?
I
Because that would be
suppose.
really funny. Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess so.
So that Canon was now gripping exactly where her neck was. I wanted him to be like Princess Carrie holding her. That would have been funnier to me.
It's my victory, Beatrice.
Ew, that
Sama.
means he's also probably holding her. Well, no, I guess he pulled it out with his right hand. I was going to say that means he's probably holding her with the air hole hand.
No. Ew.
Canon didn't hold back at all with the hand gripping Lucifer's throat. I thought it was going to say gripping around Lucifer's throat, so my brain went grapping.
Grapping.
She had challenged him again after their fight had already been decided. Canon had no obligation to be considerate. But even so, Canon released the witch's furniture. Was it his naive humanism, his pity for another furniture, or a final bit of respect to the witch? In any case, when she was released, Lucifer fell face down on the ground, retching and moaning over the pain in her throat.
Spectacular, Canon. Your great efforts have proven the correctness of some of Kinzo's research.
Ronove was clapping his hands. To Canon, who had won at great cost and had a wound on his left hand that wouldn't close, Ronove's applause only felt like mockery.
All possibilities dwell within the human heart, was it? My. This is why humans are frightening. Well done, Canon. You are victorious. Spectacular. Are you okay, Canon-kun?
Shannon ran up to him and wrapped a handkerchief around his left hand, which was still spraying blood.
That was incredible, Canon. Truly incredible. Even I was hoping at least a little for an upset. That you didn't let me down makes you truly splendid furniture. I think better of you now. I honestly think better of you. You haven't forgotten our promise, right, Beatrice? Indeed. Of course I haven't forgotten. Witches and demons may be inhumane. However, we are much more noble than humans when it comes to keeping promises. I will not go back on my word. I guaranteed that if you won, I would give you the right to decide the 5 people who will escape, becoming the 13 sacrifices.
Beatrice-sama, it's not like I've close up.
Hi.
When Beatrice waved her pipe, heaven and earth turned over just for Lucifer. Ha! So, as a horribly natural result, she fell onto the ceiling. You know, you probably wouldn't have gotten punished if you had kept your mouth shut, prideful brat.
She's getting sans undertailed right now.
Yeah. The ceiling doesn't seem that high to people standing on the floor. However, people who fall on it upside down and head first usually don't agree.
What a line.
Milady, isn't that a little much?
You know, honestly, we haven't seen magic used for much comical stuff. And so it's a nice change of pace whenever it is.
True.
Considering how much it's used for murder, stab all the
Brutal
time in
stuff,
this.
yeah.
Perhaps you are right. I suppose I'll forgive her.
Beatrice waved her pipe
Oh,
again.
no.
When she did, the magic that had been affecting Lucifer was released.
Oh no.
So, as a horribly natural result, this time she fell properly back onto the floor. Dang. Dang!
Whoa! She spun on that one.
Poor Lucifer. Oh. Just don't be such a brat.
Yeah. Beatrice-sama, forgive me.
What are you so afraid of? I have already forgiven you, haven't I? So, Canon, shall we continue?
Canon bleeding out on the floor.
Yeah.
Continue what? You aren't saying you want me to finish her, are you? Ah, no.
You just have to beat all the others.
It isn't over yet, right?
Ah.
What isn't? Stop dodging the question. I did promise to you your reward, didn't I? If you could defeat my furniture.
Yep, all of her furniture.
the 7 stakes of purgatory, right? Come, arise, the 7 stakes of purgatory. The 6 younger sisters of the worthless elder sister.
That's both of us, but I ain't
Yeah.
got it. Dang, I don't think we've ever seen all of them lined up before. The air split with shrill laughter. And as a golden splash scattered around, the remaining 6 sisters of Purgatory showed themselves. All the 7 sisters of Purgatory were here. Ba, 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 ba. After Canon was able to defeat only one by sacrificing his left arm. By now, Canon regretted his thoughtlessness in accepting the witch's challenge. Well, you were gonna die either way. Might as well try. He had been foolish to assume that a game against a witch could be on an even footing. True. Big true.
Alright, hold on, I got the list
I
here.
think that's you.
That is me. Lane. One-sama, why are you crawling on the floor?
You people.
Also me. If I remember right, this is the one that was a man, so... I told you, One-sama is useless. Even though she acts like she's so great just because she's the oldest, that's only on the outside.
Remember how we learned about this entire dynamic by reading the notes before this?
Yeah. The notes are helpful. That one's you, that's Wrath.
Yeah, seriously. Lucifer One-sama, your disgraceful behavior will damage the reputation of us all. Know your shame. You novice.
That's me, that's gluttony.
Canon-kun, that was totally awesome. But don't get cocky, okay? Lucifer One-sama brags all the time, but she's no big deal compared to the rest of us sisters.
Why is this one a surfer, bro?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm running out of voices, brother. Belphegor is also me! Okay. You're just like a girl, though, I'm pretty sure, so...
That's why I'm always saying Lucifer One shouldn't do anything. Just let her keep bragging all the time. After all, those of us with talent can handle all the tough jobs.
That's you. I don't know which one that is.
I don't remember.
What are you gonna do, One-sama? Out of respect for your pride, we were planning to stay out of your way in the hopes that you'd challenge him again in that beat-up body of yours. But Canon-kun sure is strong, right? Right now, no matter how much you struggle, there's no way you could win, right? You people...
My, you sisters are always so lively. Is this any time to fight amongst yourselves? It's only together that you're the 7 stakes of purgatory, correct? Now, play nice and execute the tasks I give you. And swiftly, okay?
Hey, Lucifer One-sama, if you want to borrow the power of your little sisters, then say it, okay? We want to hear you ask us for help with your own mouth. Do you plan to mock me even more? I, the foolish, weak, ugly, and shameful Lucifer, the eldest sister, beg my younger sisters to save me.
You didn't have to include ugly.
Yeah, sounds a bit much.
You all look the same, by the way, so what do you mean
Also,
by
yeah.
that? What do you...
Saying,
Come
"And
on."
your mother's a hoe to your sister.
Come on, let's hear it. If you let us hear that, we'll save you. Okay? Everyone. You. Bitch.
The 7 Sisters of Purgatory unanimously closed in on their worthless sister. I don't think she's worthless.
Yeah,
Dang.
she sucks.
Abusing her. Even Canon, who had been fighting for his life until a second ago, couldn't bear to look at it.
As if I could say something like that.
Quickly now. Clearly, we won't make any progress here with you alone. Hurry up, let the 7 sisters strike Canon.
It will be really funny to me if this ends up not happening because Lucifer is so obstinate that she won't beg for their help.
That would be funny.
My, what is the matter, Lucifer? This is an order from milady, is it not?
Shannon?
That's not Shannon, game. That's not... I still think it's supposed to be Shannon, but for some reason they're showing us Canon. Either way, it's you. It's
True. How cruel. How cruel. I'll just cover my bases. There we go.
After grinding her teeth over and over, after hearing her sister's curses, Lucifer trembled all over and answered her sister's request. I,
Oh,
the
boy.
foolish, weak, ugly,
And shameful.
And shameful. Lucifer, the eldest sister. Beg.
Dang.
The
The girl known as Pride was finally unable to endure the words she was saying and broke down crying. However, the 6 younger sisters kept giggling cold-heartedly.
And that's it? Oh. Okay, that's me. Okay.
Wait a sec. Don't try to trick us by crying. You haven't finished saying it. That should be enough. Come, sisters, let us display our power.
I won't be satisfied till I hear the whole thing, okay? Come on, Onesama. Keep going.
This is me?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's enough. Come on, this shame affects us all. We won't let them leave here alive. Okay, how should we play with this pitiful furniture? Any wonderful plans?
Okay, I remember. Yes. Beelzy thinks the 7 of us should get along and split Cannon up between us.
Good idea. That way all of the sisters can get along.
It should have been me! Not him!
I'll take their head. I'll leave the limbs and guts to you all.
No! I get the head! There's no way that promise will mean anything, right? First one there wins.
Canon-kun, if you've got any ideas for how we should kill you, just tell us, okay? The 7 sisters will kill you in an awesome way.
She's lost. Damn.
Yeah. Imagine being Canon and having this be your final moments where you had to watch a bunch of sisters just have a cat fight, abuse their oldest sister, who you just beat.
Yep.
Oh.
I don't even know at that point.
Ah! You shamed me so deeply. Slicing you into 8 pieces won't be enough. I'll slice you into 100 pieces. Here we go. Everyone.
Megazord. Oh!
Voltron!
Uh.
Yes, Ode-sama.
Yeah.
7 of them burst at once.
Beyblade?
They had no intention of playing or boasting. This time, they would genuinely follow their master's order. Take Canon down, swiftly. Dang, I wanted it to be 7 times longer than the normal one.
True.
The 7 sisters jumped around the room faster than the eye could see, examining how they could best kill Canon. I feel like it's not gonna matter too much with 7 of you. Regardless...
Good idea. Get a bag of bugles, take 7 of them out, and say, "Behold the 7 stakes of purgatory," and then throw them at your roommate.
What?
Anyway.
Why bugles?
Because they're the most shaped like stakes.
You could just get stakes.
Well, no, you don't want to hurt them.
I feel like unless you like have a mechanism to launch the stakes with, just kind of chucking them is probably not gonna...
Well, even still, bugles are cheaper, so...
Are they?
Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
They tortured Canon with their cruel giggles, sometimes making a close pass at him. Anytime we have a scene with these girls, I just remember that one tier list I saw of all the Umineko characters, and all of the 7 sisters were in their own category that was just called cute.
Yeah.
And then I think to like scenes like this where they're violently murdering someone.
They didn't do anything wrong.
They are just furniture, they have to obey.
Yeah.
Although maybe they don't have to. Maybe that's something I'll learn later and they're all just horrible people. But regardless, they kept scraping his arms, shoulders, and cheeks, gradually carving red letters onto his body. At that moment, Shannon dashed up behind him, holding on to him so that she blocked the way to his body at least a little. The shield again. We're getting the shield again.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, a red cylinder wrapped around the two of them like a beam of light sent from heaven. That cylinder repelled the evil ones who tormented Canon.
What? You're mean. This has nothing to do with you.
I straight up read that as, "You're me, Anne."
Ah, I see. You must want to play with us.
Yeah. Then I'll take it. All mine.
Beatrice-sama, can we take Shannon as our prey?
I don't mind. Do as you like. It seems Canon alone won't be enough to satisfy your gluttony.
Wrong, sister.
You have our deepest gratitude. Come on, I'll make you regret coming out uninvited.
Also, yeah, okay. I've got a lot of them. I gotta remember drills.
You
here,
have
okay? Yeah.
4 of the 7?
I think so.
And I have 3.
Yeah.
I'll turn you into scraps of meat so unrecognizable you won't be able to tell which is which. Mix you and mince you into hamburgers.
Hamburger.
Yeah. Great.
Great. Idiot. Breaking that barrier should come first, right?
Satan's always on it.
She's wrath.
She's all about doing the job.
Don't let your gluttony get in the way of your job.
Speaking
okay,
of
no,
which...
that was the right one. That was the right one this time.
Yes, Ode-sama.
Yes, Ode-sama.
As a horribly natural first action, the 7 sisters began to destroy the barrier Shannon had created. Shannon's barrier certainly was strong. It was powerful enough to impress even Beatrice. With its strength, frail furniture would turn to dust just by touching it. And it was firm, like a tree with deep roots. But no matter how big a tree gets, it will eventually surrender to a saw or a hatchet. For For the Seven Sisters, chopping down Shannon's barrier would be annoying, but not impossible. That's when you throw bees at them.
True.
And the bees in this metaphor are canon.
Termites. Wait, what?
A sound like beetles jumping about grew even fiercer and filled the room. Strange descriptor, but okay. The red barrier began to be cut up and eroded away as though with a hatchet, a saw, no, a chainsaw.
Yeah, I was gonna do. Yeah.
By
yeah,
now. What if Denji just showed up in Umineko?
Ryok, Mirai. How foolish. Even though you must know that your barrier can't fully protect you from these girls. Why?
Because I couldn't overlook it.
As Shannon covered Canon, who was already at his limits, sprawled on the floor. Oh, okay, he's just down.
Yeah.
She spoke back resolutely.
Also true, if Denji was here, he would have folded.
Yeah.
He's stupid.
He would have folded to the 7 sticks, brother. He wouldn't have even had to. Oh.
If you hadn't barged in uninvited, I would have given you a death like sleep. Why have you gone to all the trouble of exposing yourself before the 7 sisters? Not all deaths are the same. A cruel death will cause you far more anguish than merely dying. Go ahead, do as you like. Just as you always do what you want, I did what I wanted.
I love Shannon Beatrice interactions.
Kill her! At any rate, you're not quite amusing at the present moment.
7 stakes of purgatory! Kill her! Kill her now!
Romance is most interesting when you're wondering whether it will succeed or not.
One of the few characters to persistently annoy Beatrice.
Yeah.
Once it does succeed, a woman is like salmon who has finished laying its egg.
Huh?
No, she's real for that.
I have already tired of you. Thank you. No words from a witch would make me happier. Then at least in the end, let me see you die in a truly entertaining manner. 7 stakes, kill her!
Oh, wait, man.
Almost! Almost!
Can you hear me?
Yes!
Kill Shannon in a way that shows me the limits of brutality.
Oh.
Oh yeah, hey Genji.
Shannon. Is Genji gonna get involved? I don't know, man. He's too loyal.
Genji would simply intervene. No.
My apologies. In the end, I wasn't able to reach your level, Genji-sama.
You're an idiot, hey son. If you just let me be, then you might not have had to meet a horrible end.
No, it's fine. I received a ring from George-sama and lived as a woman. I have protected you and lived as a sister. With this, my life is complete, with no regrets. You're pissing me off.
Fuck her up, Shannon.
That philosophical take really is irritating. Like I said, you're furniture. You don't even smell like a human.
I can give her to me. I'll tell you the correct answer if
Yeah,
she
you
does or
gotta
not.
test it real quick.
I'll give her a good.
Look at me. I am a human.
You know, your argument's really not that good when you're making a face like that, Beatrice.
Don't spout off philosophical crap like you're more complete than I am, you furniture! How ugly.
Dang.
Are those regrets what you truly are? They aren't regrets. This is called living. What's this about not minding if you die, just because you were given a ring? I can't understand it. It's incomprehensible, disappointing, outrageous, stunning, and it's all useless.
Milady, perhaps you're acting a tad undignified.
Shut up, furniture. Shannon, do you think I'll let you die so easily? Now's the time to bite your tongue. How pitiful. If you can see yourself reflected in my eyes, then shudder at your own ugliness.
Get her, Shannon!
Fear not. Once I've crushed you up, you'll be much more ugly even while you still live.
He's gonna intervene.
At that time, Genji softly entered the red barrier. Perhaps that barrier didn't block those without ill intent. Then, Genji gently held her from behind, and covered her eyes with his right hand.
Genji-sama.
You've already done enough. Go to sleep before me.
Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama.
Indeed. Is he gonna kill her? Yeah, he is. Wow. After that, Genji softly pressed his left hand near her collarbone. As he did, emanating from that area, a crimson stain gently spread out. Wow.
He's furniture.
But he defied Beatrice.
In a way, true.
In a way. Which is crazy. I genuinely did not think Genji was going to.
No?
I knew that he really cared for Kanon and Shannon like they were like his adopted children from the previous episodes, but I did not. I thought his loyalty was going to overcome that. When Genji removed his hand, bright red fresh blood oozed out of there. It only happened for the first instant, and it was shaped like a crimson rose.
Now, how do you
Magic.
do that?
He made it do that on purpose so it would be pretty. And when he removed his right hand covering her face,
George is gonna love this.
there was a peaceful expression there, as though she was sleeping. Then, she fell softly, silently, and slept.
Holy moly.
Oh. Have we heard this one?
I don't know. It's called Daydream's End.
Her soul had already been sent to a world where the malicious witch and her furniture could not reach her, no matter how evilly they tortured her. This scene left Beatrice and the seven sisters stunned. Only Ronove wore a mysterious smile.
I can see the exact face Beatrice and the sisters have right now.
Same. I wonder. I don't want to break the scene, but I know that all of Beatrice's furniture are demons, but it's been heavily implied that all of Kinzo's are not. So I'm curious as to if they're just regular people, if there's some kind of like alchemical, at least Genji, because like we know if the narration is to be believed, many of them are adopted orphans, and some of them are just normal people like Kumasawa and Goda. But Genji has been shrouded in extreme mystery this whole time as to what his true identity is. So
There's hints. There are hints in the text that can explain things to an extent. But yeah.
I'll get answers eventually. I'm not too keen on all the mystery solving just yet. Then Genji leaned over Kanon, who was crouching on the floor. You did well. You should sleep now too.
Yes. Thank you very much, Genji-sama.
Just as he had done with Shannon, he softly covered Kanon's eyes with his hand, then gently pressed the area around Kanon's collarbone with his other hand. And when his hand was removed with the lightness of a feather, there was a crimson rose there.
I was wondering if he was gonna get like a really cool flaming skull or something.
But that rose shape quickly turned into the stain of bright red blood pouring out.
What is that?
Now I'd be sitting here wondering if Genji could have taken all the 7 sisters.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. What a boring person. Even though it's so fun to poke the balloon of life with a needle so that it forcefully explodes.
Spectacular, Genji. You truly are furniture.
Thank you very much. Well then, Beatrice-sama, Ronove-sama. With this as my final task, allow me to rest.
Damn you, snatching away my fun. Why don't I take all the thrashing and mashing I wanted to do to them and give it to you instead?
Beatrice faced him with an unsatisfied expression, but Ronove spoke quietly to Genji with a soothing smile.
You have worked hard. You are my greatest servant. As a final gift, I shall bestow upon you a peaceful sleep fitting for all the labors you have performed.
What? Wait, it's not your place to...
When Ronove snapped his fingers, Genji slumped to the floor like a puppet with its strings cut.
So 2 times they said that about Genji, and 1 time they said that about Kinzo.
Yeah. Suddenly, and yet, gently, he crumpled, falling into a sleep that no witch could call him back from. Dang. Not even Beatrice.
Ronove disobeying Beatrice is nothing new. So at least there's that.
It was as filled with kindness as the sleep he had given Shannon and Kanon.
What was that, Ronove? What a boring anticlimax.
Are you not a mighty great witch, milady? What happened here is hardly worthy of your concern. It isn't like you to let the provocation of someone like Shannon get to you.
What was it that had Beatrice so irritated? Was she still unable to remove the thorn of Shannon's words? Ronove laughed lightly, as though lamenting the complexity of humanity and a woman's heart, and ordered the 7 sisters to go. After all, there were still 2 sacrifices left for the first twilight. The 7 sisters disappeared in ecstasy. In ecstasy?
Where'd they get that?
What a scene.
So all of that was about 26 minutes.
Shoo!
And that was all 1 chapter, which we've been live now for about an hour and 20 minutes.
This is the first time we've seen the first Twilight, though, happening.
That's true.
In the other 2, it's just been something that has happened and been discovered.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now we get to
dang.
see it.
Yeah, now Goda and Kuwasawa are gonna die.
So all the servants gone. This is the first time all the servants
Yep.
will be gone. That means it's just going to be the adults. Oh no.
Oh,
Well,
no.
They're on a good path this
They
time.
have been doing better this time.
We'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see.
But Goda was doing the nighttime rounds. Rokkenjima had always been empty, except for the Ushiromiya family household. There's another one. So checking that the doors and windows were all closed had no real purpose. However, Ever since the time Nazi had condemned such an attitude as being careless, the nighttime rounds had become a part of the servants' daily routine. In the
I
first
can't
place,
remember. Did they say the name of the other mansion?
I don't believe they did. No, I think they've only
Okay.
been referring to it as another mansion.
Okay, I know the name, but I didn't want to say it if they hadn't said it yet. So
Maybe they did once, but I don't remember it, so...
Yeah, they'll bring it up again eventually. So.
In the first place, Nazi had ordered this because of the occasional witch disturbances. Everyone who came and left this island knew about the legend of Beatrice, the Witch of the Forest. Oh, what's that? Can you tell us?
I didn't even realize that Schroggers in chat sent a bunch of emojis and then Mr. Electric. I don't know when that was.
Oh yeah, no, I saw when both
But-
of those happened. It was all during it was during the stuff about us being like Beatrice.
Kill
Seven
her,
sisters,
kill
kill her! Yeah.
Okay.
It had become established as this island's characteristic ghost story. Because of that, it was only natural that some people would claim that when they thought they were alone in the mansion, they would hear a strange sound or see the shadow of a person. However, when that created a little too much of a disturbance and reached Natsuhi's ears, she made a fuss, thinking that some suspicious person might have been entering and leaving. I mean, fair enough. Apparently, she had roused all the servants and had them check throughout the mansion. Because all of that panic over the witch had happened before Goda's arrival, he had only heard about it from the more senior servants. Ghost stories like that could be found in any workplace. Even at the hotels and restaurants Goda had worked at, there had been plenty of them. So when he heard about that story on this island, he had given a forced smile, thinking, "Oh, so they have that kind of thing here after all." That forced smile aside, he had figured that, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, and had taken it seriously. Goda went along with it on the outside, but in his heart he'd assumed it to be a childish trick. At first, that is.
This certainly is eerie. Yes, I can see why it was so easy for past servants to get into a panic.
He could understand how someone doing the rounds on an eerie night like this might believe they'd seen a ghost if they saw a lace curtain waving in the breeze from a window that hadn't been closed.
So, if you make fun of the Witch of the Portrait, there is a curse. It seems that there was even a servant who received a serious injury and quit. Well, I wouldn't want that. Think of my age. I probably wouldn't be granted a workplace this hospitable again. Ah, Witch of the Portrait. I'm working sincerely, so please, give me some peace. Famous last words.
Yeah.
Goda prayed to the portrait, his hands together, as though he was at a Shinto shrine. Uh-oh.
Not Goda.
At that time, he thought he heard a sound. The kitchen? Was that the sound of something metal falling on the floor? Maybe a mouse or a cockroach had come and knocked over some of the dishes. A mouse, sure. A cockroach?
That'd be a strong cockroach.
Yeah. No. How could that be? It was usually cleaned thoroughly. Thinking he'd check out what that noise really had been, Goda entered the kitchen. He turned on the kitchen light. When he did, he heard a strange sound. Bang, 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 bang.
It's the robot. It's that one robot.
What?
You know the TikTok that we had over the vacation that I think Dylan sent to us?
Oh, yeah!
Would you still love me if I was a metal shelving unit?
To a cook like Goda, the sound felt like the lid on a pressure cooker or something shaking. Surely there wouldn't be a pot on the burner when no one was in the kitchen. I see it right there.
True.
Even if someone was using the gas, walking away from it would be quite dangerous. Just in case, Goda decided to inspect the area around the gas range.
What is this?
When he did, in the corner with the gas range, The pressure cooker really had been set out just as he'd thought, but the flame wasn't on, and yet the lid was clanking. It's going to be full of golden butterflies. Was something
That'd be
fermenting
funny.
and leaking gas? How could that be? Then, was there a mouse or something inside? How could there be? Ridiculous. When people were watching, Goda acted as though he had a bold personality fitting for his build, but he actually had an unexpectedly timid side to him. He was frightened that there might be something inside, and he couldn't bring himself to check it carelessly. In his cowardice, he grabbed a nearby wooden pestle, and with a clunk, he tapped it a little forcefully against the side of the pressure cooker. When he did, the clanking sound suddenly stopped. That's just gonna make you... Yeah. He should have been relieved that it had stopped. But the fact that it had stopped when he'd hit it was even more eerie and made him even more suspicious about what was inside. Oh. Mysterious phenomena do not exist in this world. Yes, witches and magic, things like that couldn't possibly exist. Goda, you just said the witch doesn't like it when you make fun of her. All phenomena can be explained with science, as if monsters and witches could exist. He repeated that many times, trying to build up his own confidence. The gap between what he was saying and what he was doing was quite comical. Who would believe in a witch? Who would believe in magic or curses? Come on. Show me what you really are. Take that! He removed the lid of the pressure cooker, and lying exposed there was the sparkling clean silver bottom of the pot. There was absolutely nothing frightening like he'd imagined. Whew! Ha 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 ha! It's only natural. There's no way there could have been anything inside. By now, Goda realized that he had been a coward. So, while he still had some doubts as to what had caused the lid to make that sound, he figured it wasn't a big problem and decided not to worry about it too much. Magnets. He then took the lid he'd grabbed and softly set it back down where it had been. It's fine. It won't make a sound. Of course it won't. As if witches or magic could exist. Clank. Clank, 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 clank. Huh? Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. All of the pots and dishes in the kitchen started clanking at once. Dang! It grew even stronger, so that finally the lid to one of the pots fell off. And from inside that pot, a slender white arm reached out. Oh, Beatrice is stepping up her freaky game.
Yeah, what if her name was
Freakatrice. Yes! Lids fell off the other pots one after the other. And another. And another. As if witches could exist. As if I'd believe it. When the number of arms grew to 7, a loud, shrill laughter split the air. Oh, okay, yeah, no, it's the butterflies now, okay.
Yeah.
What a letdown. Too bad that someone who can make such delicious food is such a lightweight.
If you don't want him, I'll take him. He's all mine.
Wait, I said no! I'll take him! Huh? What? What?
Goda's such a joke. I'm starting to like him.
I've been liking him since episode 2, I'm not gonna lie.
He's fun to laugh at, not with.
I pity him a good bit.
Yeah.
Because he's one of the few, like, he's not too smart. He's not trying to solve the mystery. He's just a dude. He's just a guy who works here. And every time he has to deal with the worst things imaginable.
It's true. It's true.
I'm assuming this is the sisters.
Yeah.
So I'll just take it.
Come on, let's search. There's only one more. That old hag. Where is she? She isn't in the mansion. What about the guest house? First one wins, right?
Come on. Search, find her. Don't be noticed by the relatives in the dining hall, right? And don't get noticed by the kids in the guest house, right? Search in silence, kill in silence. After all, it's still just the first twilight. She isn't in the guest house, but she wasn't in the mansion either, right? Where the heck Kumaksawa-san at? Oh.
Hey, I found her. She's in the rose garden. Why is she standing around there without an umbrella? She's already given up. All mine. You blockheads can just sit there and watch. I told you no.
Oh, it is me, because it's Leviathan.
Yeah,
I told
big
you
time
no. This one's mine.
I like how we can now tell which one's which purely by their dialogue.
Yeah.
If we take any longer, we'll be scolded by Beatrice-sama. Let's take care of it all at once. There. Found her. Surrounded her. Come on. Let's get along and do it all at once, okay? Die.
Huh?
Oh.
No way!
But she doesn't got the eagle.
No way!
Huh?
That doesn't mean anything. She could have been someone who just knew about magic on her own.
Independent magic. That is a different color, purple. What?
What is this?
You're
More
about to get
bullshit?
infected twice in one night. Yeah.
You've got to be kidding me!
Oh. What naughty girls. You wouldn't happen to be friends with that child, would you?
Just, what is this? This old hag?
Baba.
There's gotta be some mistake. One more time!
Mistakes. Oh, purple is their color. I forgot.
Yeah.
Purple is witch servant color.
Or is it?
Oh, you're the... Okay, yeah. Am I losing my mind?
I'm Leviathan, Satan, and Lucifer.
It's true. I feel like I've twisted
And
two
you
of
are
them
the other
together.
four. You are...
Oh well, two of them may have the same voice. Why can she defend against us? That's all I got. That's all I got for you. Move aside. One more time. No matter how often you try, it won't work. This person is good. I'm waiting for that child. Would you mind calling for her?
Do you really expect us to run errands for you like that?
There's no need.
Beatrice-sama!
After all, even I have manifested by now.
Was Kumasawa did she have repressed memories? And now she's like back at full power? What the heck?
No, she had dementia, dummy.
I was certain that you had awakened.
It's real!
It's been a long time. Yes, truly a long time.
This person's talking to Ronove-sama without using sama. And it's been a long time since I've seen you, too. Beatrice?
She's not even using sama for Beatrice-sama.
Enough. Don't you know who this is? The name Beatrice itself is hers.
She's old Beatrice?
I only inherited it from her. This is my teacher, the previous Lady Beatrice.
The previous Lady Beatrice?
Oh.
Gold butterflies appeared in ones and twos from the Garden of Roses and began to gather around Kumasawa. Then, after she was wrapped in a golden sparkle, she burst and disappeared, and Kumasawa's form was no longer there. She was hiding. I'm back, baby! It's me! I'm back!
Indeed. Now you know.
Instead, oh my god, Kumasawa was hot the whole time.
She won.
There was another golden
the
witch.
gilf is real.
She gilf is real! The one who once taught the path of an endless witch to Beatrice, and the only person Beatrice ever called teacher. Her hair was long, beautiful, and vividly youthful. I like how they have to be like, no, she's not old anymore, guys.
She's not old. She's not old.
And her figure in that elegant dress couldn't possibly have been mistaken for an old lady. She's not old. No. This looked like a completely different person from Kumasawa. You were right. We did stop at like the worst place.
I told you.
Well, teacher. I never even dreamed that we would meet each other again.
I'm assuming this is me. I
Yeah,
don't remember the
'cause-
voice I gave her.
I don't either. But yeah.
Yes, neither did I. I certainly never dreamed that my sleep would be disturbed.
Such a troublesome time for you to awaken. If you'd remained asleep as usual, the first twilight could have ended without much trouble. Or perhaps I should be glad you're here. I was just getting a tad bored.
As usual, it seems you're toying with sinless people in a vulgar game. I believe I taught you several times that the power of the Endless Witch mustn't be used to cause people trouble.
Don't say that, teacher. Isn't boredom our natural enemy? This is just a little spice to escape from that. The more the corrosion advances, the stronger my power becomes, and the easier it becomes to summon my minions. But who would have thought that it would release the seal on you, teacher, at the same time?
It's precisely because I predicted such a thing would happen, that I slept so very close to where you were. Though, I prayed in my sleep that I would not be woken again. Being reunited with you like this is a very sad thing for me.
You're as cunning as always, teacher.
Ronove, have that young furniture step back.
Whoa.
Furniture only serves its master. The master is responsible for all of her crimes.
Certainly, Madam Beatrice.
I have already passed that name on to this child. Come now, step back. Furniture girls. I may give warnings a second time if you did not listen to the first. However, do not expect to receive a third.
Step back, seven sisters of purgatory. If you get dragged into this, only dust will remain.
Is she super paper?
Back, everyone.
Ronove and the seven sisters of purgatory retreated. After that, what remained was the Beatrice whose daring expression didn't falter, and the teacher Beatrice, who had given up that name and wore a composed smile. Whose butterflies are they?
Well then, teacher, what tea shall I prepare for our long-awaited reunion?
Let's see. This reunion was longer in coming than the visit of a comet. Perhaps I will accept your hospitality. And, if it seems a mistake has been made, I'll have you return my name and the title of Endless Witch.
So even the title of Endless Witch has a license renewal policy?
1,000 years.
Dang. As you wish, teacher. See how splendid your disciple has become. And see how far she surpassed you so long ago.
The air between the two Beatrices seemed to explode with sparks. DBZ battle! DBZ battle!
Yeah.
Just by glaring at each other, they purged all spirits from that place. As they watched, the seven sisters shivered.
Yeah, they're
After
out
all,
of their depth.
if they had retreated just 3 steps less than they had, they would already have been turned to dust by now. I'm assuming this is me because it doesn't have a title.
Yeah.
So come, Beatrice. Surrendering my name to you is the only regret I have in life. I will now correct that error by my own hands.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. You've got it wrong, teacher. My only error was becoming your disciple in the hopes of gaining such a puny level of power. Get it? What are you calling magic? What are you calling the Endless Witch? All you've got is a power that can be gained just by noticing, right? And you act as though that's so great and impressive. Your turn's long over, teacher!
Whoa. Fake red shoes.
Holy moly!
Yeah.
So many things are
Oh,
happening.
oh.
Now the dinging, the dinging!
Yep. One thing the anime did well was this fight sequence was actually really
They
good.
got to this fight sequence?
Yes.
I don't have a clue what's going on anymore. What in the world is happening right in front of my eyes? This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them. Ah! Finally, I outnumber you in the meta world for once.
True.
You poor thing. It seems my disciple is causing you trouble. I apologize.
What? Who the heck are you? Why did old Kumasawa turn into a Nechan like this? Battler's one of my people. I mean, seriously, who are you? I don't get it. What kind of special effects are these? It's all mirrors. It's all mirrors and fireworks, Battler. It's all... my head feels like it's gonna explode.
I am the witch teacher of that child. My old name was Beatrice. When that child succeeded me, I gave up that name, so I have no name of my own.
Like you've already said, your disciple's a real pain to me. Please, take responsibility and do something. No, wait. I don't believe in stuff like this. As if witches and magic could exist. I won't accept this messed up battle. Damn it. What should I believe?
Oh, that's just like you. Hospitality with a very quick temper.
I'd expect nothing less from you, teacher. It seems this is trivial, so trivial to you, you don't even feel like opening your eyes. But I doubt you'll be able to win unless you're prepared to wreck this whole island. See? Come, arise, shoulder war towers!
It really is a DBZ fight. Dang. Okay, so we're getting the classic one of them is holding back and the other isn't, and that's probably why Blue Beatrice is gonna lose, I'm guessing, because otherwise the entire thing just ends right here. So, in response to Beatrice's summons, a terrific earth tremor split the rose garden. And on either side of her shoulders, two massive war towers sprouted and stabbed into the heavens.
This is a Yu-Gi-Oh battle.
Yeah, I'm just imagining being like Hideyoshi inside right now and being like, oh, I'm gonna look out the window for a second.
He's like, ooh, this is getting toasted. Let me take a look.
Huh? Yeah. Guys, you're gonna want to see this.
And then it blinks and it's gone.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it was right there. Sorry, I just read the measurement. They stretched up to 100 merut?
I feel like that's a mistranslation of meter. But
Are
let me
you
check.
sure?
I'm checking.
It might be some like old defunct unit of measurement.
So it is, but people are saying that it's an old defunct unit of measurement that was perhaps mistranslated from the word meter.
Oh, okay. They stretched up to 100 meter, merut, whichever you prefer, tall, and each tower had over 360 ports. Dang, that's a lot for towers. I mean, if they're 100 meters tall, that makes sense. That's about 300 feet tall. Okay, they were war towers of the gods' army corps, which had prevented even groups of ancient heroes from invading their sacred grounds. Oh, you know the one. You know the towers.
Yeah.
As Beatrice elegantly floated in the gap between the massive two-headed towers, she looked down on her teacher, sneering with a sense of absolute superiority. With the two massive towers lined up behind her shoulders, the witch looked very small, like a butterfly dancing between huge trees.
That unit of measurement was apparently a reference to a Studio Ghibli thing.
Oh.
It still is a meter, but anyway. Anyway.
Don't think you can dodge it by turning into butterflies, okay? The density of the Twin Towers barrage wouldn't just make you a pinned bug sample. It'd make you a madly stabbed pincushion, right?
Over 720 ports opened on the towers, and godly soldiers readied their multi-shot ballistas. Dang!
See, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh battle, not a DBZ.
It is a Yu-Gi-Oh battle.
But now you've activated my trap card, Beatrice.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn?
See?
Famous last words. Blast away!
You fail to recognize that I have 10 million life points.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you strike me. I simply won't lose. The ballista shots that numbered over 1,000 were all fired at once, drawing a beautiful geometric curtain of death. The boorish sound as the bowstrings were played was probably even deeper than that of a reaper swinging its sickle.
Come, arise, fallen tower. Split the single language and let that sin be known.
Babel?
Yeah.
Or Babel, I should say.
Yeah.
The sky was stained an incandescent red, and from between the clouds, a blazing massive tower fell upside down. I might actually have to go watch. I'll have to look up just this fight scene to see how it was animated.
Good. I'll find it and link it to you after this is over.
The massive falling tower and its rubble sucked in the thousands of ballista shots so that none of them approached the body of the witch who had summoned it. That's right. No group of people, no matter how large, could approach the mysteries of heaven. That line goes hard. That was the reality of the fallen tower.
This sequence was what I was waiting for us to get to for a long time.
As I'd expect from you, teacher. If you do something, you always do it big.
My turn isn't over. Come, arise, sons of Vivaldi. Bestow upon me a worthy spear.
What? Oh! As the massive crimson tower that had fallen made a terrible gold-colored explosion, a massive spear appeared from inside those flames, so tall, like a tower, that you had to look up to see all of it. Terran is missing out.
Mm-hmm.
It was too large even for a giant's hand. That divinely beautiful spear of the gods was so massive it gave the illusion that the fallen tower had turned into a spear of the same size. It was a spear of certain victory that none could escape.
Looks like your twin towers won't help you now. How foolish to block off your means of escape on both sides. You can't defend against even a single spear.
When she snapped her fingers in command, the massive tower-sized spear shot at Beatrice like a lightning bolt. It aimed right for the middle of the center of the Golden Witch's heart, with extreme precision, as she danced in the gap between the towers like a butterfly, slicing straight through the air like a flash of lightning.
Ha! So, you use Golnia at a moment like this. You really are incredible, teacher. Burst, useless towers. Arise, giant soldier battle line. Fully block that divine spear with your shields and chests.
The shoulder war towers exploded into gold. They became several billion gold butterflies. Those butterflies took the shape of 7 massive armored soldiers, each stretched a full 50 meters into the sky. And they lined up in front of Beatrice, protecting their master and holding massive shields that towered like windmills.
Hideyoshi being like, guys, it changed!
Guys, it's back! I'm telling you, I'm not crazy! They were as massive as a mountain range. The witch behind them was like a small moon hiding behind the mountains. Once in the past, when the massive shields that these giants had been readied... Once in the past, when the massive shields these giants held had been readied by the whole regiment, they had protected King Wilhelm's castle not only from arrows, but from the wind and the rain. For when they had faced upwards and held their shields to the heavens, not a single raindrop had gotten through.
Foolish. The shame of a witch who has forgotten to respect things sacred. Did you think mere giants could defend against a spear of the gods?
Indeed, no matter how much human metal you are armed with, you cannot block a spear of the gods. A wonderful epaulette made by Madame.
Everyone knows you can't block a spear of the gods. Everyone knows
Yeah,
this.
no, not with human metal.
No, not with human metal. It's obvious.
No way! Beatrice-sama!
Of course, I haven't forgotten, teacher. Come, arise, disciples of Hephaestus. Bestow upon me a worthy shield.
She gets 2 actions on her turn? A golden whirlwind arose at the feet of the giant soldiers. It was a cloud of countless butterflies. They attached themselves to the massive shield like gold leaf, sparkling like they were a gold mirror. See, there's the mirror, Battler! It was the absolute defensive wall given to a goddess by the chief of the gods, the Aegis Shield. When the holy spear, which left a dignified tail behind it like a comet, crashed into the mountain range of that gold shield, there was a terrible thunderous roar. It was the creaking of the pillars that held up the heavens. The divine spear spun around and was sent flying in the direction of the setting sun.
Impossible. She defended against the divine spear.
No, that is not correct. the divine spear avoided her. It is the law of the gods that an absolute spear and an absolute shield must never fight one another. Although in the end it means the same thing as defending against it.
Thank you for your explanations, Ronove.
Yep.
Lore explanations.
Your skills have improved from engaging in these fights so often.
Or rather, it seems you're still as bad as ever at this kind of game, teacher. It's my turn to strike back. I shall follow the code and counter a spear with a spear.
The giant soldier battle line, which had fully blocked the divine spear, released its holy gold shields. The shields fell to the earth, making the ground shake. Guys, I'm telling you,
It's great.
you don't feel that happening underneath us right now? Am I the only one who's seeing this going on?
Be quiet, darling. We're talking.
Yeah. Ava! When they did, another gold whirlwind arose. And the 7 gold shields changed their form into 7 massive spears of lightning lying on the ground. At once, each of the giants lifted one of their legs high and firmly stomped on the tips of the handles. As the earth shook with a thunderous sound, the 7 lightning spears spun beautifully and flew up above the giant soldiers' heads. They scattered into a golden splash and began to fall before the giants. Each of the giants squared off, and with the force of their whole body, they kicked and smashed them. The broken pieces numbered exactly 30 and became lightning spears of exactly the same size as the originals, which made 210 for the 7 giants, and all of those burst at once, with each splitting into 30 thorns for a total of 6,300. When the Yarozu no Kami descended on Izumo, 70,333 blades. They became a barrage of thunderclouds, drawing a beautiful geometric pattern. Beatrice loves her geometric patterns.
She does.
And then each changed into 3 bolts of lightning, so that 18,900 thunderbolts shot at the predecessor Beatrice.
No, she's fine.
Nah, she'd win. Okay, well now,
Over.
yeah, now the sisters are flagging that she's going to be fine. So
Beatrice-sama!
I would expect nothing less from Madam.
that bundle of almost 20,000 thunderbolts must have reduced the teacher's body to dust. But there had been no resistance. Beatrice knew immediately that she had been fooled. At that time, from the direction that the sun had supposedly set, she felt the impossible rays of sunlight. A brilliant ray of light shone on her profile. It was the figure of her teacher holding aloft the spear of the gods that had supposedly been repelled a short while ago. She bore a sparkle like the sun on her back and made it shine on the incarnation of darkness. As Beatrice watched, she was trapped like a mouse in a cage, cornered in a dead end formed by the giant soldier battle line. By now, the predecessor Beatrice had seized a position directly alongside that line. Playtime is over, Beatrice.
Have I exposed my flank?
Her bold expression hadn't faltered even once, but now it twisted for the first time. And faster than Beatrice could click her tongue, the predecessor Beatrice released the holy spear. As it leapt through the air, it changed its form once more. Come, arise, Dvergar brothers. Bestow upon me the giant smashing iron hammer of heaven. This is so chuny.
Yes.
The giant soldiers, protect me! What are you doing, you blockheads?
By now, it was no longer a spear, but the whirlwind of a massive hammer that raised a sound like a windstorm as it flew through the air. It was the legendary hammer that had shaken even the king of the frost giants. So the giant soldiers couldn't escape from that fear. So regardless of how strongly their master ordered them, they couldn't get in the path of that hammer. This just is rock, paper, scissors. Giant smashing hammer beats giant.
Yeah.
Back rank mate. Rest in peace.
Damn it!
Before the whirlwind of that massive chunk of metal, Beatrice was nothing more than a mere speck. The instant the whirlwind started to suck Beatrice in, she appeared to change into a massive war tower. The iron hammer smashed the war tower, scattering tremendous amounts of rubble, but it did not reach she who had escaped behind it. Furthermore, when the smoke started to settle, the war tower had sucked in the massive iron hammer without crumbling and blocked the way. Even the giant smashing iron hammer couldn't break through the final tower protecting the witch. However, this war tower was actually the witch's last trump card. It was a war tower for dodging that could only save her from danger once. Are we gonna get the chuny name of the tower? But
No.
this tower was impregnable. No weapon could break through it. At that time, the moon disappeared. As Beatrice hid in the shadows of the giant soldier battle line and the war tower, she looked up at the sky. Holy! Oh my god!
Umineko goes hard.
When she did, inside the moon was a figure of a massive horse ridden by the god of war and death. The predecessor Beatrice rode the horse with him. And I saw a pale rider and his name was Death. His
Not quite.
cloak had blocked the moon and swallowed it in an eerie shadow, and the spear of the gods was in his hand once more. In other words, it was a godly knight who had jumped over the ramparts formed by the giant soldiers and the war tower, attacking from the heavens.
Smothered mate.
You got me.
Smothered mate. It was fun, Beatrice.
The struggle to the death between the two witches with the same name was over.
That was supposed to be Odin, by the way.
Ah, that makes sense. His
'Cause her
weapon of
whole
choice
thing
is in
was
fact a
horse.
spear.
You know.
The spear that had been launched from the heavens pierced the ground. Yeah, that was a ton of Norse mythology spewed out in that fight, with a
Yeah.
dabble of Greek from Hephaestus and the Aegis.
Mostly white Beatrice was using, or predecessor Beatrice was using a ton of the
True.
Norse. She did Gungnir, Thor's hammer, and then Odin.
I haven't said it this entire time, but every time I read Giant Soldier Battle Line, it makes me laugh internally. The Giant
It
Soldier
makes me think
Battle
of
Line.
giant enemy crab.
Yeah. And the war tower split up into countless gold butterflies, wrapping the area in a gold-colored storm. Then came the sound of thunder, and the sound of the falling rain and wind. If you looked around, the rose garden was empty. POV, you are the rest of the adults looking out the window.
Fine, what is it, Hideyoshi?
It was right here. The butler and the rest were watching the two witches confronting each other. But Beatrice alone had changed. Witch Beatrice. She had been pierced straight through by the spear from the base of her neck and her right shoulder to her left buttocks. Dang. Unable to even reach the ground with her feet. Horribly exposed like a pitiful pinned butterfly, tormented by the wind and rain. Wow, I did not actually expect her to lose.
I know, right?
Beatrice-sama?
As expected, a truly fearsome person.
Oh, that settles it. Beatrice.
Okay.
Oh, what?
It was just taking its time.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Beatrice wore a bitter smile of false courage, but a strand of blood dangled from her mouth, making her look even more pitiful. The title and power of the Endless Witch. You will return them to me now, along with the name Beatrice. You are too immature to call yourself an Endless Witch.
stop. Forgive me, teacher. I was just fooling around, okay?
I will take my name back from you. I shall return you to your original form. Perhaps you should relinquish this power which is beyond you and live a life suitable for yourself. Come, try to remember.
Wait.
What form did you have?
Wait.
The predecessor Beatrice began to recite the words of power. When she did, small gold butterflies gathered near the skewered Beatrice and began to swarm about her. Like butterflies sucking the nectar out of flowers, they began to suck the magical power out of Beatrice, and it seemed to cause her intense pain. A cry of anguish issued from Beatrice's mouth. She no longer had any power to resist it. Come, try closing your eyes. Try to remember. What form did you have? Come, Beatrice. Repeat it with me. Let us sing a song together. Then it will be over, soon. Let us end your pain as fast as possible. They're white, and now blue.
You're right. How long has it been? Since I've sung with you, teacher.
Come, together now. Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
Come, try to remember. What form did you have?
When the two of them began to recite the same song, more and more gold butterflies danced around, swarming around Beatrice. It will be all right, milady. You will lose your place as my disciple, but that will not change the fact that you are the lady I serve. After that, I shall read a book for you again. I shall bake you apple pies once more, just like it was long ago. Come, try to remember.
Yes, try to remember. Are you finally starting to remember? Hey, teacher. Did you remember? That thing behind you?
What is this? When the predecessor Beatrice looked behind her, there was an eerie hedgehog curled up there.
Taryn.
No, it was herself? There was another predecessor Beatrice whose whole body had been packed with ballista shots. Ah, lying there like a pincushion doll.
Come, try to remember. What form did you have? Or maybe that's not right. Come, try to remember. How were you killed?
The predecessor Beatrice was stunned. Her form gradually began to fade away. This is... When did you...
At the beginning, I did not summon a pair of shoulder towers. There were 4 towers. Teacher, you carelessly stepped across the 7th rank rook boundary of death created by the 2 hidden towers, which were lurking in the distance on either side of you. It was bad manners of me to say check this late. I simply must apologize.
The battle had been decided at the very beginning. It had been over since the time the predecessor had leaned forward, readying her holy spear to attack Beatrice, who had been wedged between her shoulder towers. The hidden towers, lurking on either side, had bathed her in a windstorm of ballista shots from 720 ports on both sides, pinning and killing her. However, Beatrice hadn't wanted it to be resolved like that. She had wanted to let her teacher take her next move, and had continued acting as though the game was still on. She had immediately revived her with the endless power, and had made her continue the game as though nothing had happened.
Oops.
Then the predecessor slowly remembered that she had already been killed.
It's, what's that thing we learned from Terran about chess where you can lose in, like, 2 moves? The, like, bishop's maid or something like that?
Yes, where
It's that
if
if you
someone
just let someone
brings
keep
out
playing.
all of their pawns on one side in a like perfect diagonal, you can immediately mate with your bishop
Yep.
because the king gets stuck.
Yep, it's that, but if you let someone keep playing after that.
And began to vanish completely. When she did, the spear that had pierced Beatrice also vanished. Beatrice finally landed on the ground. There wasn't even a trace of a scar.
It was fun, teacher. If you want to play again, I'll revive you anytime. And once we've had some fun, I'll make you remember that you're a corpse again. See? I did everything you told me to, right? Didn't you tell me to always put my toys back in their boxes when I'm done playing with them?
Was it an easy victory?
You fool, it was a tough one. If I hadn't tricked her with the 4 towers, I would have been the one dead. As I'd expect from teacher. But now I can stand proud. Now I have completely surpassed teacher. Ronove, clean up teacher's remains a bit. I haven't lost my respect for her that much.
Certainly. Tonight's first twilight became a little too riotous. A little cleanup will be necessary.
So now in the 4th, is Kumasawa also gonna be her again?
You'll have to see. I shall see to it immediately. Goats, it is time to clean up. I imagine he would do a for
Yep.
that.
little clap for it. When Ronove snapped his fingers,
Oh, no snap. Okay. Well,
blazing,
you know.
sparkling eyes began to blink open in the shadows and darkness, becoming goat-headed attendants that appeared one after another. I do also want to say, just like earlier where I was talking about the difference between Kenzo's servants being what appears to be mostly human, or at least the text mostly like... Whenever they do stuff, the text likes to invoke, like, the indomitable human spirit as the source of their power. And a lot of old Beatrice, teacher Beatrice, her stuff was like holy god stuff, whereas now Beatrice does demons and devils. So, interesting dichotomies all around. One by one, they wordlessly stood at attention in a line behind Ronove's back.
This time, what shall be done about the 6 corpses? Another closed room pattern?
I'm in no mood to think now. I will leave it to you, Ronove.
Leave them where they lie.
An extraordinary closed room to torment battler, if you would.
Ugh.
Wow. Certainly.
Closed rooms are old now, Beatrice. Get new material.
Then it shall be extraordinary.
Okay, where's Battler? Gets upset and immediately is like, where's my boy toy?
Yeah.
Battler, did you see my big moment?
She wants you to praise her. This is close enough. Damn it. After being showed that screwed up magical storm, what can I deny? Forget just witches existing. After being shown that tremendous flashy fantasy, what can I deny now? I don't get it anymore. It was like that last time too, but how can I deny these awesome, wonderful, magical battles?
Isn't that right? After watching this, you can't talk your way out of it, right? Okay, Battler, let me hear some ridiculous reasoning.
Come on, Battler. Let him cook. You got this, bro.
Yeah.
Milady, your laugh is becoming undignified.
Oh, my apologies. But that isn't my fault. After all, if Battler tightly closes his eyes, grinds his teeth, and shows me that ever so bitter expression, it just automatically slips out of my mouth, you see?
So, Battler Summer, why don't you return to the table without losing heart? Milady is expecting your counterattack, you see?
Quit messing with me. How the hell can I make a counter-argument? In the first place, everything was already screwed up when that tower sprouted up out of the earth. Should I say that under the rock, I read Rokkenjima and said rock. Should I say that under the ground in Rokkenjima there's a secret laboratory for building super alloy combining robots or something? And that pushing a button can make these strange towers sprout up? Right? And then those huge giants must be the robots. Or maybe an evil secret association's mecha monsters? I don't get it! Don't talk to me! Frustration cry.
Look. Yeah. Look, don't cry, okay? Bang, bang, it's magic! If you want, I'll crush the moon and make comets fall like rain. I can even bury the whole island in those massive breasted nachons you like so much. See?
Real shit? No, okay.
Come on, look, my turn's over, see? Show me your response, launch your counterattack. You can't, can you? Except that there's a quadrillion things you can't do. You're useless against this, right? You actually like this kind of fantasy, don't you? I get it. That's been going around on the streets lately, hasn't it? In manga and light novels, in anime and movies. Some teenage brats get a whole bunch of strange special abilities, and they blow up all sorts of stuff with the fate of the world on the line.
Fate?
Oh, you love that too, don't you?
I don't actually remember when the original Fate came out. I don't know if it was before the 80s or not.
I don't know. I know, don't hide it. You love it, right? Yeah. Hasn't the thing you love just been displayed before your very eyes? Why do you believe in it in manga and anime, but you won't believe in me? Believe it! You can't argue back, not after you've been shown something like this, right? Look, answer! You don't need to think, you can just obediently say, I'm sorry, Beatrice Summer. Look, try saying it. I'm sorry, Beatrice-sama. Try saying it. Say it. Don't be embarrassed.
Whew. I knew she didn't lose.
Ooh.
Ain't
6
no
o'clock
way.
on the dot.
Visual novels made her too OP to lose anything ever.
All right. Well, that's the end of another chapter. You think that's a good spot?
Wait, let's just see who the next person is so we can see if either
Okay.
you will start off in agony or I will. It's Kenzo again, even though he's been immolated.
It's Rain.
Dang.
It's narrator.
It's no one. It's Kenzo because
Yeah.
narrator is Kenzo. No.
Ah!
All right. Do we have a...
No one shows up as dead yet. I guess because they haven't been discovered as
No,
dead
I thought she would have been over here. I thought teacher Beatrice might have been over here, but she's not.
Not yet.
Yeah, none of the... Well, I mean, yeah, their bodies haven't been discovered, but these three are definitely dead. Actually, this entire line down here are all the dead ones.
And Kinzo.
And Kenzo. All right.
All right.
Well, hot dog, we got through an action-packed stream today.
Yeah. And I don't want to spoil nothing, but all I'm going to say is it don't stop.
It just gets more intense from here.
This episode does at least, yes.
Dang. Okay.
This one's fire.
I'm here for it. All right. Well, we'll have to see all of y'all next time, which will be sometime next weekend.
True.
We run a
Tomorrow,
looser schedule around here.
yeah, it's tough right now. We out here. But tomorrow, new Terranria.
You love to see it.
Tuesday, I'm playing Castlevania Symphony of the Night at long last.
How far is that into the series?
I don't know how many entries it is, but we started in 1987 and we are now in 1997.
Okay, 10 years.
And the very last game came out in 2011 or 12. So
Okay, so you're closing in on it. You're closing in
I was
on
gonna say, if you think about it, like halfway, kinda.
Yeah.
Wednesday podcast. Thursday Elden Ring. Not quite the last one, the second to last one.
Shoo.
And then next
We
week.
might wait a minute. What's 2 Thursdays from now? Well, I got you. That doesn't have to be when the next one comes out. But like, are we gonna line it up with the DLC dropping? That's what I'm thinking.
I'm
right
lining
now.
it up pretty closely. I've got the release schedule all planned out.
Dang. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
I went
We
back,
are right
audience.
before.
I went, for those of you who are remaining at the end of the VOD, I went back and beat all of Elden Ring. If you've been watching the Elden Ring series, you know that Pertuset and I never actually beat it in non-modded, and I went back and beat all of it because us playing it reinvigorated my love for the game. So now I'm ready for the DLC.
I'm not. I'll play that in a couple years.
Oh my goodness, I can use my controller. Although it doesn't seem to work completely correctly.
I noticed you're kind of spazzing
It's
out.
jumping
Up
all over the place. Huh. That's weird. Okay, well, we found out
there.
something
But
new.
anyway,
Yep, that's
have
it.
a good rest of your night.
Let me end stream. Good night, everyone. Oh, now I can't. My mouse. We're stuck. We're
Help!
trapped.
Help!
Okay.